Today I'm going to show you how to use PowerPoint to make a reasonably good video for marketing purposes. I didn't say great, I said reasonably good. Great is the enemy of good. We're going to make an explainer video. In fact, we're going to make this video. What you're watching is entirely done within PowerPoint. On this title card, you can see I'm just using a default PowerPoint theme and the default background that came with that theme. Now, PowerPoint offers a lot of options, so I can use a GIF as a background. And that's a GIF, not a GIF. It's GIF. Or I can just use a straight up video file as a background. Now, it's important to note PowerPoint is going to render all your videos as a 1080p MP4. This video I stole off of YouTube and it's 720p, so you can see a little bit of the pixelation, a little bit of the washing out. For what I'm doing, it's fine. Again, we're for good, not great. But whatever you use as your background, you want to make sure it's not distracting to the viewer. So subtlety is good here. You don't want casino lights, you don't want a lot of movement, you don't want bright flashes, you don't want anything that's going to confuse and make the text hard to read. You're going for simplicity. Now, we're using PowerPoint to make a video, something that a lot of companies want to charge you a lot of money to do. If you look at the industry leader, Adobe Premiere, you can see all the fancy video options that are available. All the editing options, all the tweaks, all the tools within the tool. And if you're going to do video professionally, and you're going to do it often, like daily, you may need all those features. But we don't. And you see that bottom window there in Premiere, where all the audio clips and all the video clips are lined up and stacked on the various channels in that one long timeline? For us, that's the most important tool we need, and that's something PowerPoint lets you do. So looking at PowerPoint, we have one timeline, and it's on the left. It's your slide order. We can do a lot with that, at least more than you think you could. So to get started, let's look at the workflow we're going to use for our video production. We're going to start with setting the video order and getting all the pieces together and how we think the story is going to flow. Then we're going to record our audio. After that, we'll get our audio lined up with the video we've already set. We'll adjust the timings, and then we'll save the video file. So let's get started on the video part. It's helpful, well, for me it's helpful to think of storyboards when putting a video together. Storyboards are something they use in animation a lot. They use it in regular videos often. A lot of it's digital now, but let's think of a storyboard wall. What we're looking at here is Pixar's storyboard from Toy Story. You can see they've lined up every shot in a way that's going to tell the best story. It's organizational. It's a tool to make sure you stay on track and keep the story moving. As my granddad always said, proper planning prevents poor performance. That's what this is for. Now you can use your PowerPoint slide window as your storyboard. You want to think of every scene you're going to have in your video, every step that you're explaining, and you want to have a slide for each scene. That's your storyboard. Now once we've got our storyboard set, we're going to start laying in our content. And we're going to use that to kind of enhance the basic nature of our videos. So you saw on the slide that I added an animation to call attention to the slide window when we're talking about storyboards. That's me simply inserting a shape in PowerPoint, something you should all be very comfortable with by now, and then setting an animation trigger to make that shape appear. And now we can use shapes in a lot of things, including one that really makes our videos look a lot more professional. So here we have a video of a girl talking. Another one I ripped off YouTube. I don't know her name. I don't know what she's talking about. I even muted the audio. I don't care. I'm using it for an example. And now here's a professionally shot video. It's actors and actresses talking about how they act. And it looks really clean, and then they tell you who it is. There's a title bar. It's clean, it's informative, it's stylish, it's professional. We can easily do that on our own. So let's go back to this girl and look. Boom. Title bar that wipes in and out cleanly. That's just a rectangle shape inset text, and a pair of wipe animations. Again, simple, clean, and effective. The big expensive programs like Premiere and Final Cut have all sorts of clip effects to move between scenes. PowerPoint has slide transitions. There's not as many, and they're not as easy to work with, but you can use them to smoothly move from one slide to another in a graphically pleasing way. Set your scenes, move between them. But be careful. You can easily overdo it here, and you don't want to. Watch. See how annoying that was? The KISS principle, keep it simple, stupid. That's going to work for these type videos. You keep them simple, and while you should use your effects and transitions, you want to use them sparingly and you want to use them wisely. Sorry, couldn't help but show again how annoying they were. They're really annoying if you get too complicated, so keep them simple. Now, let's go into recording audio. Before we start, let's lay down a few good practices to getting good audio. PowerPoint has an audio recorder built in, but it's not good. I'm not even going to talk about it. It's crap. You can download a sound recorder off your smartphone, and most of them work well enough. All the audio you're hearing today is me recording off my iPhone 6S using an audio app I downloaded about 5 minutes before I started here. Now, you may run into issues getting the files off your phone, but probably not. And you can also record audio on your PC. Most laptops have a microphone built in. Desktop microphones are cheap enough. And Audacity is a free and robust audio recorder and editor. But we talked about microphones briefly. That's the bigger issue. How are you going to get your voice into the machine? You want to avoid recording bad audio. You don't want echoes. You don't want to hear the room. So if you can, hang some blankets on the walls or record in a small room with a bunch of soft things in it. Break up the acoustics. Don't give yourself a lot of surfaces that are going to shoot echoes back at your microphone. Now, if you're in a pinch and recording on your smartphone, you can just throw a bath towel and an Amazon box, throw your phone in there, make sure the microphone's not shoved into the towel, but kind of open, and just put your head at the box opening. That's going to really give you a tight audio. It's going to sound like you're very close, but it's not going to give you echoes from the room. You're not going to hear the room and the microphone. And while we're talking about recording good audio, you want to know what the most annoying sound in the world is? The absolute most annoying sound is? That. You hear that? Crap headset mics pick up every terrible sound, and there's nothing worse than hearing someone breathing or burping or exhaling or sneezing or whatever into a crappy microphone that's unprotected. Don't use a headset, don't use a headset microphone. Spend $20, order a decent lapel mic off Amazon if you need to, or if your phone works, use your phone. But make sure your audio sounds good before you even start recording well. Just don't record crap audio. Alright, so let's get on to putting that audio into PowerPoint. Now, under the Insert tab in PowerPoint is the Audio tool. Hey folks, Nick Hamner here from the Retiring the Right Way radio show. I want to invite you to join me and a variety of special guests right here on 1210 WPHT every Sunday at 8 to discover how you can retire right. Once you've inserted a file, you'll see two new tabs pop up under that Audio tab, Format and Playback. There's absolutely nothing you need to do under Format, but under Playback, you'll want to play with those settings. You're probably going to want to hide it during the show so you don't see audio controls while your video is going. You're going to need to trim the audio if you need to, cut out awkward silences at the start and end. If you're setting down a music bed, you're going to want to set your fades in and out so that you don't just have it awkwardly start and awkwardly stop. And then you're going to want to set how that file triggers, if you're going to manually click a mouse to make that audio start or if you want it to start with the slide. And that brings us into timings. When it comes to timings and audio, this is all trial and error until you figure out what's going to work for you. I put down a list of how I did the audio and animations on this video to kind of set the timings up. Now, the way this video was put together was that each audio file was recorded separately. That's one audio file per slide. Now, I timed how long it took to get the bullet points and matched those animations for the bullets up to the audio times I'd written down. Now, this is pen on paper. I wrote down each time and when each bullet point started. Each slide was set to automatically trigger any animation based on what I had noted, and then the transition to go to the next slide was set to happen 1 second after the audio file ended. These are all automation timings that you can set. Do you set it to a click of a mouse? Do you set it to happen with the animation? Do you set it to happen after the previous animation? Whatever you want to do, that's all your personal preference. One last word of caution. You remember the bad kung fu movies where they tried to overlay English over the Japanese or Chinese or whatever they were speaking, depending on the movie? Do not try to record audio separately from the video and then sync that audio to a video of a person speaking within PowerPoint. The tools are too limited, it's not going to work right, and even trying it will end up driving you crazy. Either record better audio when you're recording the video, or use a better video program than PowerPoint if that's something you're going to have to do. It's just not going to work right. But anyway, that's going to do it for me. I hope this video actually helps show what PowerPoint can do when it comes to recording video, and hopefully you got something out of it. Thanks for watching.